Visual Literacies Session 2. Before we get started today, gather some materials. All you'll need for this session is a book that you've read before, maybe even one of your favorites. So grab that text and I'll see you back here soon. Welcome again to Using Visual Literacies to Read Our World from the Evanston Art Center. My name is Claire Donovan-Skane from CDS Literacies. And today, we're going to learn more about visual literacies by noticing new things that help us as readers of a book, new and familiar. Let's get started. Last time we were together, we learned that we can understand more about a book, an image, and the world by using our visual literacy skills to help support our observations. We unpacked specific ways that we can understand a character better by looking at their facial expressions, their body language, and their positioning on a page. We learned that we can think about mood by looking at color, paying attention to what's big and what's little, and even looking for metaphors sprinkled throughout the book in visual images. We did some powerful application of this work by looking at Bisa Butler's iconic image, Safety Patrol. We took time to notice the colors and positioning of the children, their facial expressions, and it seems like we got to know the image even better than we did at first glance. Pretty exciting work. Today, we're going to do something really similar. We're going to dig deeper into a familiar text. This time, not a piece of art, but a story. Today, we're going to apply our visual literacy skills to texts that are new to us and those that are familiar. It's always fun to spot a new detail from a text when we think we already know it really, really well. Visual literacies help us do this. Let's give it a try right now. In a minute, I'm going to ask you to pause this video and join me for a read aloud of Hot City. Words by Barbara Jose and illustrations by R. Gregory Christie. But before you go, let's do a little bit of visual literacy work together on the cover of the book. Okay, when I look at this cover right away, there are some things that jump right out to me. I see two main characters way close to the front. So our illustrator has positioned them at the front, which makes me think those are two people I should be paying attention to. Another thing that's undeniable is the color choice. The reds and the yellows and the oranges all speak to me as warm colors. Now, when I think about the title of this book, Hot City, those colors make a lot of sense. So it seems to me that the author and the illustrator are working together to really bring home the idea that this story is going to be hot. And the last thing I'm noticing are those empty spaces behind the title, Hot City. So it's not a blue sky, right, that you would normally see on a hot day. It's white. That makes me really, again, sort of fade everything out into the background besides the idea of a hot city and two kids who are probably going to be our main characters. So using our visual literacy skills, we notice that the positioning of the students in the front, we notice the color that's really cueing us into this idea that it's going to be hot, and the empty space in the back, all warming us up for a story about being hot. As I read, I want you to notice where the author and the illustrator have worked together to get your attention. Think about what they did and why they made those choices. Use your visual literacy skills to help you understand even more about the story than you would have before our first lesson together. Pause this lesson now and join me for our read aloud. After we experience the book together, let's come back to this video and use some of our visual literacy skills to name ways that we can dig deeper and learn even more about this great story. I can't wait. See you soon. Hot City. Words by Barbara Jose. Illustrations by R. Gregory Christie. Let's get into this really great text. Right away, I am seeing a lot of bright colors, red hot colors. I'm seeing our two main characters really close to the front, and I'm seeing a hot city right there in empty space for everyone to notice. Again, really focusing in on the hot sun and the title, nothing else to distract you. We have a very special version of this text because it's author signed. Here again, two characters that I'm thinking were going to be our main characters for the story. It's really nice to spend a little bit of time with the author dedications so we can learn something about the author and maybe even something about the story. So here our author says, for Joe, who loved books, and my daughter. Here our illustrator says, for Sandra Green, Stephen Green, and Ajamu Hooks. Thank you for your friendship and for the many summertime days spent on Jackson Avenue. I'm wondering if this is sort of like a memory for our illustrator about his Jackson Avenue childhood. Wow. Lots of bright, brilliant colors. Really warm. Here again are our possible main characters. Let's get into it. Me and Joe on the front porch steps, cement steps, hot as a fry pan, sizzling. And my own sweet self, that's what's cooking. Hey, Mimi, says Joe. He's my little brother. What you want to do? Nothing, I say. Nothing, he says. But Joe can't do nothing. Oh, no. He's got jumps in his skin. Hey, Mimi, says Joe. Let's us spy on the blah blah ladies. Nuh-uh, I say. You ever have conversations with friends or family members, can't decide what to do on a really hot day? Oh, there's Joe and Mimi, but now they're outside. Wondering if these are the blah blah ladies. Let's read and find out. Miss Parker wearing a fancy dress, like a princess, Mimi. Inside, blah blah, says Miss Parker, bouncing her dress. Blah blah blah, says Mama, fanning her face. Blah blah, says Aunt Phil. Mama sees me. Ooh, sweet girl. Pour that iced tea, would you, honey? And Joe, pass me some cookies. We do, for Mama and the blah blah ladies. Then slip out, slow and easy. Few new characters, lots of color. We walk, sweat runs like a river across my face, down my back, filling me up. The snow cone man rings his bell at us. Mimi, Joe asks, his eyes as big as moons. 2 snow cones, princess pink for me and dinosaur green for Joe. We look fast, but not fast enough. I know that feeling. Hot, hot day. Ooh. Big bus passes, huffs out. Smoky black, stinky black, dragon hot. See a dragon there on the side of the bus. Bricks on one side, baking in the sun. Buses on the other, huffing out hot. Us in the middle. I take Joe's hand and cross the street. It's slimy wet. And then, wow. Friends, no printed text on this page. Here's Mimi and Joe. Oh, there's a unicorn. Looks like they cross the street to get to where they're going. And if you can look, they're going to the public library. Maybe that's where they're headed, crossing the street. See, oh, wow. In the cool library. Now let's go back a page. Oh, this hot. Crossing the street, and finally we get a big change of color here. Wow, in the cool library. I go where I want, so I take myself to the princess shelf. Joe goes to dinosaurs. We take our time, picking slow. The books here. Joe and Mimi. In the library, I sit where I want. So I plop down in a big old chair, smooth and cool like a throne. I turn the pages of my book slow, like a princess. I rub my fingers on the gold sparkle edge, like a princess. And I look at the gowns. And then she's looking down at her book. Wow. Let's take a minute here on this page. I see Mimi. I see the Plava ladies. I see colors. Wow. Look at the difference between these colors and the outside colors. Wow. All that movement. Wow. How do you think Mimi feels here? She's riding on a unicorn in a group of unicorns, in a blessing of unicorns. Wow. Oh, looks like Mimi's off to somewhere. Oh, looks like maybe she's noticing some trouble over here. Her eyes are kind of going directly over there. Oh, check this page out. Here's Mimi handling her business over here. And who's come to join her? None other than her brother. And he's on a dinosaur. Looks like all of the stories have jumped right off and come to life. We're still here in the library, looking out at that hot, hot day. Wow. Me and Joe look down at the city, sizzling hot. There are people out there, sweating out rivers. There are buses out there, huffing out hot. Still hot out there. Cool in here. Mimi, Joe says, grinning. It's good we came, isn't it? Joe sticks out his chest like he's king of stuff. It's good, I say. Oh, I've got Mimi on the back, off on her adventure. Hey, thanks for joining me for Hot City. This was a really special book. Let's go back and use this book with our visual literacies and see what we can learn. See you in a minute. Welcome back. I hope you enjoy Hot City as much as I did. We are going to take a little bit of time right now to dig back into the book and see more using those literacy lenses. When we looked at the cover before we dug into the book together, we saw some clear messages, some visual storytelling that Barbara Joyce our author, and R. Gregory Christie, our illustrator, were using to help us really set a path for our book, Hot City. Let's head back into the book at this time to specifically name some visual literacy tools we see working to make this story such a powerful one. Here's our first page. What do you notice? Perhaps you notice the positioning, Mimi and Joe sort of off to the side, that allows the author to really highlight and the illustrator to really highlight the colors of the heat on the city streets. Those yellows, hot pinks, and oranges signify warmth and hot, that is reminding us of our title, Hot City. Let's look at another page. Here is a page farther in the book where Mimi and Joe, our main characters, have almost reached the end of their journey, where they're trying to get to on this very hot day. What do you notice? Perhaps you said you noticed those colors again. Those warm shades are even more bright as they sort of trudge across the city trying to get into the library. Perhaps you noticed a metaphor at play here with that wide city street, signifying the final challenge in their long, hot journey to the library. What do you notice on this page? Like some friends before, you may have noticed their facial expressions, that Mimi is happy, thrilled to finally be in her library, whereas Joe is just already in his book. He doesn't have time for anything else. He's focused and engaged inside the library. It's hard not to notice the color changes on this page. The blues and greens signify a color that is cooler than it was before. The first time we've seen these kind of colors in this book. The reds and yellows still stay outside, while Mimi and Joe are inside where there's cool colors. What about this page? Really zooming in to Mimi's adventure inside of her princess book. You might have noticed her facial expressions, happy, thrilled. You might notice her body language, lots of movement, both with Mimi and her unicorns. Again, those blues and greens really signifying that it's a different mood in the library, and it's certainly a different mood among this blessing of unicorns. There's so much more to see in Hot City, but our visual literacy cues helped us see a lot. They helped us notice character feelings. They tipped us off to the mood changes throughout the book. How about that color? And they zoomed us into important parts, so we really felt quite closer to the characters. But here's a hot tip. This kind of work does not only exist in Hot City. You can do this meaning making in any book, any image, any video, anything you see all across your world. So grab a book and try some of these tools out. Maybe a book you've read before, and you can impress yourself by what you notice now that you have your visual literacy cues in hand. So this is your turn to open up your familiar book, take a look through the pages, and if you have a Post-it or even just a slip of paper, you might just tag some of the pages to share with friends or someone at home. Once we have these visual literacy skills in hand, we want to tell everybody about them, right? For more information on visual literacies, as always, head to the Evanston Art Center at evanstonartcenter.org. They will have more resources and lots more visual literacies to cue into, so use those tools as much as you can.